Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Hey Corner Crew podcast. I am your host, JJ Lang. With me, as always, is my wonderful co-host, Nate the Little Goon Foss,
I'm dying.
and Dan the Statman Scully.
I'm not.
Nate and I are both half dead thanks to Saturday.
Oh my god.
My video quality also sucks this week, so my apologies for that. It will be back to
Well,
normal
it's
next
better
week.
because then we don't have to look at your ugly face.
You know, I wrote a very nice, heartfelt Instagram post because of our awesome trip, and you saying that makes me want to remove you from the tags.
Is it a podcast episode if I don't chirp you at least once?
Is it a podcast episode of one of us isn't chirping someone? No.
Yeah, right, exactly.
That being said, speaking of chirps, we'll get to that later. Both teams had 4 games this week. Women's hockey had 2 games at...
Rephrase that.
What do you mean rephrase that?
Both teams played 4 games this week? No, they didn't. They both played 2.
Oh, crap. My bad. You're right. Each team had 2 games. There was 4 games total. That's what I was wanting to say.
JJ's brain is not working today.
None of our brains are working today, especially after Saturday. Women's hockey had 2 games at Mercyhurst, and the men had a split home-and-home series against Canisius. We are going to start with the women's series from Mercyhurst. I'm going to pass it over to Dan, and we're going to get right going on that.
It looked like we were in for a good game at the end of the first on Friday. Amy Dobson scored with less than a minute left in the first, put the Tigers up 1-0. I showed
Stop. Some fucking Apple software update thing just popped up on my screen.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It just popped, so it's fine. We'll just, it's good. I'm closing it out. I don't know why it popped up now. I already closed out of it earlier. we have to leave this as a blooper for like the end of season blooper reel.
Figure it out. Let's go.
I'm closing out of it. It's not fucking...
I want to go to bed. I'm tired.
Yeah, we're all tired. Calm yourself. Dan's over here stretching and cracking his back while he's waiting for us to start. Okay. All right, Dan, just restart and Zoe can just cut it.
Yeah, Zoe can cut it out. Double major. Are you kidding me, Dan?
Damn it, it's not even in the podcast now.
No.
All right. Go ahead. All right, go, Dan.
On Friday, at the end of the first, it looked like we were in for a pretty good game. With less than a minute left, Amy Dobson scored to put the Tigers up 1-0. I actually showed JJ the score while I was down visiting Corner Crew for warm-ups for the men's game, and he started jumping up and down.
I was like, oh my god, here we go.
Unfortunately, that would be the last goal the Tigers would score on Friday, and Mercyhurst would score 5 unanswered, including a hat trick for Sarah Boucher, whose name we'll hear again when we talk about Saturday.
She had an assist on the 5th goal, too. She had 4 points on Friday.
It's crazy.
Oof.
Not a terrible game for the Tigers, but certainly not a great one either. 28 shots on goal for the Tigers. Math is hard. 45 for the Lakers.
Yeah.
I don't know what much more to say about Friday.
Yeah, I mean, 15 block shots. I mean,
Yeah, there's not much else to say.
Take it. This score sheet is messed up. They have all of our players in for their roster, but only like a couple. No, all of them.
Really?
What?
Which one are you looking at?
What are you looking at, Nate?
I'm looking at the one on our website, and like half of the players on their roster are our players.
What? Somebody
I
made
don't
a
know where you're looking.
someone made a boo boo.
I'm making a boo-boo. I don't know. Like, the stats are right, but according to this, Annie Burks had a 3-goal hat trick, 4 points. So it looks like RIT actually. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not having that issue.
So what Nate's
Dan
trying to
did
say
not do
is
the stat sheet on my computer, so
it's
actually I'm gonna take a picture, Dan. I'll send it to you.
that's kind of funny actually. Anyways,
Yeah, I'll send it in our group chat. Dan, keep talking.
So I probably shouldn't talk quite so much about Saturday because unlike JJ and Nate, I wasn't there.
You had to go shooting.
Um, Unfortunately for the Tigers, was not a good afternoon.
no.
It was 7-1 for a final. Sarah Boucher with another hat trick. No points for guessing who CHA Player of the Week is this week.
Yeah,
And
I think it might be Sarah Boucher.
it's possible.
yeah, probably.
Well, how many did anybody from Penn State have a big game today? Because they won a big one.
Yeah, I did.
think Zanin had a hat trick, but she didn't score 6 goals this weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah, true.
So
I mean, Sarah Boucher is one of the best players in the conference, and we knew that coming in, and she is for a reason, and she showed it this weekend.
yeah.
She is really, really good, and
she's scary good.
she is incredible. I mean,
Unfortunately, on Saturday, Tigers only ended up with 11 shots on goal.
so actually, it should have been 12, but they took a shot away literally immediately after we scored.
Yeah, which was hilarious.
Like, the shot that they added for our goal, they ended up taking away. So I'm like, how did
That
we
reminds
score?
me of me being asked by somebody while I was working baseball last year whether a home run counted for a hit.
Is tough start
No
for
shot.
Sophia on
oh,
Saturday.
I feel so bad for Sophia.
And I don't want to blame her, but I mean, there were a couple that you got to stop, and team didn't really help her out much either.
No.
I thought we got better as the game went on. I mean, take away the first period, it's a 2-1 hockey game. I thought we played really well in the second, and the third was pretty much even. Honestly,
we took a penalty 20 seconds in and gave up a goal 9 seconds later, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was a rough night.
Ouch.
Yeah, that was not the most fun thing ever.
But
And I'm
highlight,
curious, did you
we
guys,
had a what?
did you guys actually have a view of the major that we took?
Not really.
Not really. I mean, I watched the replay of it later,
I mean,
and I'm gonna be honest. It shouldn't. It was a penalty. I don't think it was a major. But,
I
no,
mean-
JJ. It was the one where she cross-checked her into the net.
oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, no, that definitely wasn't a major. Because she was definitely knocked into her by someone else.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know.
it was some weird, like, flick. It definitely was a 2, but
it was definitely a penalty. I don't think it was major worthy.
no,
but,
it was just some fluky thing, honestly. I mean,
uh,
you were...
Yeah.
You
fluky. We're
That-
gonna have a segment at the end
that
of the year.
word is
top
back.
10 words from the podcast.
Fluky is number one.
Fluky.
I mean,
No, it's going to be fluky all the way down the list because we've used it so many times this year.
can I also say it's speaking about Mercyhurst drink? It's like in between Kennedy and Dwyer for how bad it is, and at the same time,
Not quite as bad as Kennedy.
but it's
Not quite as good as Dwyer.
yeah, it's not as good as Dwyer, but it's not.
There aren't many
It's
things that
better
are
than
below Dwyer.
It's
but
better than Kennedy. I will also say that
They had heat though. That was a nice benefit.
yeah, it wasn't
Yeah,
frigid
They had
cold.
heaters
guys
on.
saying
It was
that
kinda
a
nice,
cold drink,
actually.
And I'm like, no, it's not a cold drink.
They used
Coach
to
tried
not-
to tell me the same thing last
So
year.
they used to not have heat. That was part of their renovation.
I will say,
Their coat of paint and heat.
yeah, I will say it was kind of funny because we had an
And the
older
heat was to
guy.
dry the paint.
There was an old. Good
He
God.
used to try the paint. Honestly, no, I look at our conversations about like Kennedy, Dwyer, the MIC as they call it, the Mercyhurst Ice Center. We are so spoiled with the facilities that we
not
have.
even funny.
It's ridiculous.
I will say first of all, we weren't allowed to put any whiteboards or signs up on the boards, which was stupid. I don't understand why. Like, we're fine with you having these, but like, you have to get rid of them because you have to like put them somewhere else. We're like, well, that's dumb. We can't do anything with them then. We literally took.
So I taped the sign up to the wall over the S in Lakers.
Yeah, that was kind of funny. The other,
I wanted to put it over the sign for their student section,
but they weren't there.
Almost
so.
did it.
Why do they have a sign for their student section?
And it's in the wrong end.
Yeah, it's in the end that their team shoots on. No, it's in the
Once.
team that their team shoots on once, which is stupid. We also had an older gentleman come to us who was from Mercyhurst, and he asked us how Lou Spiatti was doing. And I said, Lou's been retired for about 2 years now. I don't know what you're talking about. If anybody doesn't know, Lou Spiatti is our old athletic director. So this guy was under the impression that Lou Spiatti was still working for our IT, which was kind of funny. And
yeah, but then he came up to us after the game in the park.
Oh, he was a really nice guy.
Ready to leave, and he was really nice. He was like, he was glad. Said he was happy to see that we got one, and that we got to see a goal after we drove all the way down there.
Yeah. Also, their attendance numbers for that game are the epitome of garbage because there is no way in hell there was 250-something people in attendance to that. That's impossible. There was like 50 and 20 of them were us.
Players and the coaches and everything else, the staff.
The radio broadcasters.
Craig.
Craig.
It was...
Not 257 people. There's no way. Yeah. We should also talk about...
This one's doing it too.
We should also talk about the one goal and the importance of said goal because it was a milestone goal for a player for Saturday's game.
A power play goal for Bronwyn Kangzar, her first collegiate goal, and I believe also her first point. I don't think she's had an assist
I
yet.
believe that is correct as well.
I believe so because she hasn't really played a lot.
Yeah,
either.
she has not played a bunch.
So, I mean, good for her. I mean, I think that kind of made the trip worth it. It's nice, especially when you get to score in front of your fans in a home game. Because let's be honest, the only Mercyhurst people that were there were parents and two dudes that were trying to chirp us.
And all they kept doing was pointing at the scoreboard, and we're like, "Yeah, like
that's cute.
Like we don't really care. Like we've seen this in like middle school and high school. Like please update your material to be like college appropriate." But apparently they don't want to do that. We also kind of were sad.
Men's soccer did a better job of chirping us.
They did.
At least they had a whiteboard.
That's true. These guys were just kind of wandering around. Like they weren't even watching the game. I think they just kind of wandered back and forth across the pavilion. It was really stupid looking.
That's weird. What's this building?
Also,
Ice Center, we have a hockey team?
Also, speaking of the building, who in their right mind makes people buy tickets for a game with cash only? We're all sitting there.
No. The cash only thing
was
is
at the
fine.
door.
But if you're going to have cash only, you need to have an ATM.
Yeah. Like, it's kind of ridiculous.
I had to buy tickets online on my phone, standing in the lobby.
Also, the tickets were $12 friggin'. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's like $3
no
bucks
wonder
less
why
than
nobody goes.
They're so friggin' expensive. They're probably it's to pay for all the paint they had to buy.
Yes. Yes, that's what it is.
And the heating bill.
The heating bill? That's funny. God bless that heat, though. I was very happy for that.
Yeah, I wasn't like a freezer in there, thank God.
Yeah, so, I mean, it was another tough weekend. Like I said, I thought they played well on the second and third on Saturday. Just not. When you start slow against a team like that, it's going to burn you, and this weekend it did. So.
Yeah, unfortunately. All right, let's go to Dan for our scores around the league for this weekend. And then we'll
A
keep
normal
going.
league week for the most part.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Except we're not in it.
I meant this past week, but
Which we very much were in, Nate.
Yeah.
So
Sag.
Friday there were two games. There was ours that we've already talked about, and then I don't think any of us predicted this, but Stonehill beat Lindenwood 2-1 in overtime on Friday.
Good Lord.
Well, we'll guess it just goes to CHA2 not winning non-conference games. Woohoo!
On Saturday, Stonehill finished the sweep 5-3.
Yep.
There
Sounds
we
about
go.
right.
Sounds
How
about
did
right.
we lose to them?
Because they're Lindenwood.
Penn State kicked off a Saturday-Sunday series with Syracuse. Penn State scored more goals on Saturday, not Friday. On Saturday than Syracuse scored in the whole series.
That's
Penn
sad.
State Penn State won 4-0 Saturday and finished the sweep today. We're recording on Sunday night. 11-3.
What were the shots? What were the shots in that game?
A lot. A lot to not a lot.
40-18.
Good Lord. This is why Penn State's women's team is nationally ranked.
5%. And they scored 11. You know how hard it is to shoot at 25% and score 11 goals?
Good
Like,
God.
that's actually
insanity.
like you would think like that's not hard, but it's hard. Like, because if you're scoring that many goals, it means you're shooting the puck a lot. That's nuts, man. Yeah,
That's a lot of points.
This coming
Yes,
week,
thank you,
we've only
JJ.
got two series coming up. Both Friday, Saturday. Mercyhurst will host Princeton at 3 and 2, and Syracuse hosts Vermont at 6 and 3.
Woohoo.
Yep.
And then the league is off until December 30th.
Yep. So we will not be seeing any games for us for quite a bit.
Yeah, we don't play again until the new year.
We don't play until 2023, which is kind of wild to think about, that we're not going to get to watch women's hockey until then. But let's hope in this time they can figure some things out.
Get some rest.
Get some rest.
Much needed rest.
Yep. Get some rest. Chill for a bit, and then come back strong and try to finish this latter half and collect some points in the standings so you can make a run for a playoff spot.
Speaking of standings, we should go through the standings right now.
Let's do that,
Dan,
actually.
Either you can do it or I can do it.
Taking the words out of my mouth, Nate.
You can do it or I can do it. Up to you.
I'll grab it. Does the CHA website not know how
CHA
sorting
website
works?
is wrong. I got it. All right. Penn State. Every team has played 6 conference games except Mercyhurst because they're losers. Penn State, an overall record of 13-8-1. They're 5-1 in the conference, and they have 10 points. Syracuse sits in second, 2 points behind them at 7-11-1. Overall, 4-2 in the conference. Mercyhurst is 3-1 with one of those wins coming against Penn State. They got 6 points. They're 9-7. Lindenwood is 2-4 with an overtime win in there as well, with 4 points against us and us. We won't talk about it.
What? According to the CHA website, they don't have any overtime wins.
We watched it.
I mean, we know what happened, so
We also don't have any overtime
They also
losses,
also have Syracuse in first. Okay, so I don't know what's going on here.
How?
Yes, JJ, 8 is greater than 10.
Math.
Apparently,
Hockey is
The other
important
thing-
to her.
CHA must have taken a smoke break this weekend. Their calculator.
The one other thing that we should mention before we move on from the women's team for the holidays is because that Syracuse Mercyhurst series a few weeks ago was postponed, we've got a change in the RIT Syracuse series coming up in January. It was originally scheduled to be Friday and Saturday, the 27th and 28th.
Mm-hmm.
Mercyhurst and Syracuse are making their series up that weekend. So they've pushed our home and home to the 24th and 25th, a Tuesday and a Wednesday.
That's actually dumb.
There's not really any room in the schedule anywhere else for it.
No. And because we're so close with Syracuse, it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We play that weekend too, right? Or no, we don't play that weekend anymore now. That's good.
No, and we don't play the weekend before either because the previous week we have the Tuesday game against St. Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
Does Syracuse play the weekend before?
I think so.
Oh, that's an opportunity. That is a huge opportunity. You're going to play a team that just played 2 games the weekend before.
They're going to be fried.
You need to get points there.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You got to get something from them on that spot. You have to.
Kylie Aquero leads the team with 8 points, 1 goal, 7 assists.
Not only does Syracuse play the preceding weekend, it's at Lindenwood.
Oh, that's even worse for them. Better for us.
Need points. You need to win at least one of those games.
Yeah.
I'm going to reiterate that when we get there too, because you have to win. You can win both.
They're going to be fried.
There's an opportunity there to win both games, and
they proved it in the series they played earlier this year too.
Those games were close. And for people that don't know at home who are listening to this and don't know,
it's the opportunity you have to jump back into the playoff race. It's right there. It's right in front of you.
Yep.
How many? We only play 3 games prior to that after the break.
Yeah. No, 5. St. Thomas, Penn State, and then the single game against St. Lawrence.
You need to get points there.
Yeah.
For people at home who don't know where Lindenwood is in St. Louis, Missouri. So that means Syracuse. It's in Missouri.
It's a suburb of Missouri.
Whatever.
A suburb of St. Louis.
Idiot.
Geography, man.
So, for reference, Syracuse has to fly to Lindenwood, play games there, and then fly back, probably with only a few days rest, and then play us both at RIT and at home. So they're going to have to do all this back and forth crap to make that work. That's going to be rough.
Really shift the Lindenwood games back because they play Cornell on that Tuesday.
Yeah.
So there's not even an opportunity to maybe even play Lindenwood Thursday, Friday.
Nope.
You have to play that Friday, Saturday.
So this is a huge opportunity for them to jump up and do some damage.
We're getting ahead of ourselves here, we
have no games pretty much to talk about until then.
I know. So we are going to fill the void of lack of RIT hockey people. Yeah. So don't forget about us over the holidays.
Oh, there's going to be some stuff coming up. Trust us.
We're going to fill the void.
We've planned some things out. You guys are in for some treats. So, the men had a 2-game home-and-home series against Canisius this weekend. One at home at GPC on Friday night, and then one at the Harbor Center in Buffalo on Saturday night. Let's talk about Friday first, and then we'll get into the absolute slaughter that was Saturday.
I want to talk about Saturday.
All right, we have to do due diligence. Got to talk about Friday first. That was a very, very, very hard-fought game. It
was, and I watched it later on because I was unable to make it due to a prior commitment.
I forgot you weren't there.
I was not.
Maybe that's
I was watching
lost.
Yeah, facts. Unlike you, where we win when you're not there.
And we still win when I'm there, so zip it.
And we still lose when I'm there sometimes. So
that's fair too. Anyways.
All right. Score no goals in the first. Great. It seemed like RIT came out absolutely flying.
Mm-hmm.
Just unable to put the puck in the net. And let me say this right now before we get into all the craziness that was Saturday. Jacob Barchevsky is one of the best goalies in Atlantic hockey, and he showed it on Friday.
Yeah, and he has been for past
He has been
years.
his whole career.
And then the day afterwards,
he has been one of the top goalies.
He pooped a brick, but that's okay. We'll go on that later.
We'll get there. I mean, made 16 saves in the third period. I mean, what do you want?
Some of them
What do you want
saves
RIT
were
to do? They put 16 shots in the third period.
And
some of them were highway robbery.
Oh yeah, like
he had a bunch of those this weekend.
He snagged a ton of them. There was one Saturday that we looked at. We're like, oh my god, he saved that! Like we couldn't believe it.
David Meloragni got scoring started on the power play. Decided to point over to the RAT bench. Then he didn't do literally anything the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, that was the best.
I would say a word that starts with B, but I'm not going to because I'm not going to swear on the podcast.
Shout out Tommy Kane.
Does it rhyme with the word itch?
No, that's just the rest of it. Rhymes with glitch.
Anyway. We had one of those too.
Yeah, we did. We'll get into that Saturday though. Continue.
Then Kobe on the power play. Thank you very much. JJ, I'm sorry I wasn't able to dunk on you. I was very disappointed.
That's right. I dunked on Dan Talbot.
Good goal by Kobe. I think he just seems to score when you need a goal, and
you put it right back in it.
At that point, they needed a goal, and he got it. Power play stays hot. Thank you very much.
Also, quick side tangent. Speaking of Dan Talbot, shout out to Dan Talbot for actually literally taping a picture of Chad Veltri to his sweater for Ugly Sweater Night. That was hysterical. Actually hilarious.
I laughed when I saw that pop up on the story. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah, the first thing I said to Dan when I saw him on Friday was, "What the bleep is that?"
Dan said a word that starts with F and ends with fire truck.
What?
Never mind, continue.
It ends with fire truck?
We're all tired. Shut up and keep going.
Dan, JJ can't English either.
No, I can't function today. I can barely speak, as you can all tell from my voice.
Oh my god, I didn't say a word until I got to work this morning, and I said hi to my boss, and it turned into hi.
That was me too.
Oh man, it was bad.
Oh,
I did a lot of screaming on Saturday.
Let's keep talking Friday though, because we still have something to do with that.
Okay, never mind. It wasn't him. Anyway, and then the third period, like we said, RAT put up 16 shots. Couldn't get one by Barchevsky, and then Ryan Miato scored the game winner in overtime. And C Block talked a lot of crap after not saying anything the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, after the game actually started, I forgot that they were there.
They were legitimately silent the entire game. And I will get back to that when I go on my rant later, because I got one I got to go on a little bit, but we'll continue talking about Friday first.
Low quality JJ has a rant.
So wait, now there's
like
JJ. There's better JJ the picture. Now there's low quality podcast JJ. So we have three of them. That's pretty awesome. I can stick with that.
I think better JJ is my favorite one though.
I'm not
doesn't talk. Anyway, like we said, Barchevsky made 35 saves on the night. Scarfoni made 18. Thought Tommy played really well. Both goals were tough goals to give up, but not much he could do. I want to talk about the Barry hit.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because that was some trash.
Now, did they even review it?
Yeah,
there was a review, and it came back as just 2 minute.
So,
or no,
if they saw the same angles we did.
I think it did. I think it came 2 minutes elbowing.
Yeah, 2 minutes elbowing. That's what it was.
If they saw the same angles we did, how did they not see that guy leave his feet?
He was
and jump directly into Barry's head.
He was off the ice. That was like a Ryan Steele hit
that's the
from
stuff
last
they're
year.
trying to get out of hockey. And the fact that the referees continue to let this happen is unacceptable.
100% agree.
Unacceptable.
And let's
this is the referee from Bentley last year too that was just not calling anything against Bentley and was putting players in danger of injury. And how is this guy still allowed to ref games in this league?
Because they don't care. Because you have guys like freaking Binda and Michael Schubert who are running things over there now, and they don't really care. All they care about is collecting their paycheck and going home. That's all. They don't care about the player safety at all.
And according to C Block, that was a flop by Barry too.
Yeah, let's also point out the fact that they made a sign that we couldn't read until after we found it in the trash can behind their seats on Saturday that we are now in possession of. So C Block, if you're listening to this, expect to receive that back next time we see you guys with all kinds of stuff written on it. We're going to give it back to you in a little present. You clown.
Why'd you say that?
You think they're going to watch this? No.
No.
They don't care about anything.
They don't care about hockey. And they only cared about the free. They cared about the free T-shirt that they got on the bus.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my mini rant. I don't know how you don't call that a 5-minute game. He left his feet. He led with his elbow.
Should have been.
Made direct contact to the head. That was the initial point of contact. That's textbook 5-minute game and possibly a suspension. But
yep. But no.
I will say, Elijah Gonzalez, this game misconduct for spearing. It was 100% a spear. I'm not going to fight it, but
man, my man was doing his best impression of Edge.
I mean, what can you do?
Yeah.
Tough one to lose. I think RIT had a really good opportunity to pull away in the standings this weekend, like really pull away.
We still did to an extent.
They did to an extent, but I think having a 9-point lead instead of a 7-point lead would have been absolutely massive. But hey, what can you do? A point. Hey, they got a point. I'll take a point any night of the week.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you on
even
that.
Even Tuesdays.
Even Tuesdays. Every other Thursday.
All right. Done talking about Friday.
Let's get to the fun game now.
The game that everybody wants to talk about.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Now, all right. Let's go. I want to go in order of events.
Yes, let's do it.
Back out to Harbor Center. Everybody was kind of coming in at different times because, a bunch of us came from Erie and a couple of people came from Rochester that didn't go to Erie. We're starting to flow in. About 6:30 when warm-ups were starting, I'd say almost everybody was there, and there was nobody from C-Block.
Minus your sister.
Minus my sister.
And their little
they might have been
five-man
at the Don Richards Invitational for swimming and diving here at RIT.
Yeah.
Probably.
No, they all so anyway, I think that's just embarrassing, and I feel bad for them because I feel bad for the players. And I said it all game too. I want a student section to go up against, and they're probably the closest thing we can even come close to getting. And it's just, it's not fun.
A student section that isn't made entirely of other athletes from said school.
Yes,
I'm gonna go on my little rant right now. Now that you're going on this, I think the C Block is an absolute joke. And I'm going to say this, and I'm saying that and not something else because obviously your sister's part of the organization. I don't want to crap on it too much, but seriously, you got 50 people to come out to GPC on Friday. You had to effectively buy their way there by getting them a bus and give them free T-shirts on the bus to even get them on it to bring them to Rochester. The Saturday of the game, we had 70, 80 people probably there, something like that?
Almost 100.
Almost 100 people that drove themselves.
Dan, there was only one row that was empty in between me and everybody else.
Drove themselves. They had a squad of 8 people in their front row, and by the time the third period was halfway through, they were all gone, minus Nate's sister. That is disgraceful. Yeah. I don't even want to. I don't even call the C Block a student section. They're literally just 5 people that go to games and try and get others to go.
I get it. You're not a hockey school. They're a basketball school, and they'll admit it. But when there's nothing else going on,
there was literally nothing else.
There was no other sport on campus this weekend at Canisius. how do you not show up and support your team?
And then and when you try and sit there on Friday, because let's face it, they put some stupid little what happened video up with two of their guys outside GPC on their Instagram story, and then we legitimately hit them with the force of the sun the next night because if you're gonna start stuff, we're gonna finish it. Like,
yep,
our team came out, destroyed yours, and we destroyed you after the fact. And this is getting
Jacob was mad,
and
he got pulled.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
Loved it.
We'll talk about that when we get to the end of that game. But like, seriously, this is Sunday. We've already put a bunch of memes up, and guess what? The rest of the week, there's like 7 or 8 more that are gonna keep coming because we are not.
Canisius Hate Week is extending into this week.
The accelerator pedal is
Let's just go with that.
Floor. We're just gonna go until like Saturday, then stop. Maybe if you're lucky.
We have 27 days without a men's hockey game. We gotta do something.
We're riding this for a while.
Okay, so game starts.
Sorry, go ahead.
Canisius got out to a 2-0 lead, and let's be honest, we were all saying, really, this again? Because we just can't seem to win at Harbor Center.
Nope.
Dan Scully just made a
had an assist on the second Canisius goal.
Yep, he did.
Mm-hmm, he did.
Which was disgusting.
Okay.
And then proceeded to be an absolute sieve the rest of the game.
Yep.
Couldn't stop a beach ball, which is not okay. Again, not true. He had a for all intents and purposes, he had a pretty decent game. His team kind of left him out to dry.
Drive his own bus back home.
Drive the bus that they have to take.
Can I say
because their rank isn't on campus.
Can I say my favorite video clip from this weekend is us after the final score has been up, and Nate just yells back, "Imagine having to ride a bus back to your own campus because your rink isn't here," or something like that. He basically like chirped them for having.
Oh, I was chirping him about Harbor Center the entire game.
Oh, it was so good. Anyways, continue.
Anyway, JoJo got us going with an absolute blast from the point. Gave a nice fist bump and pointed directly at us. Thank you very much. Team knew we were there. I don't know how you couldn't. And the Canisius play-by-play guy was loving us.
Oh yeah, he was
for a while there. So 2-1 Canisius after one. It was a penalty-filled second period. That's an understatement.
So many penalties.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
To be fair, a bunch of them were all on the same play.
Yeah.
Half of them were.
We'll get there. We'll get there. When was that? That was late in the period. Okay, so we'll get there in a minute. And then Cody Laskoski said, "Nope, this is my game." 2 quick ones, about a minute and a half apart. Quickly flipped the game from 2-1 to 3-2. I was like, "Uh-oh, Jacob, what happened? You were winning a minute ago. Not anymore." Silky Wilkie with another beautiful, beautiful goal from Atlantic Hockey's best forward. I'll say it till the day the season ends. Great game, great period overall for RAT. They dominated the second period.
Yeah. You could tell in the second that the momentum had shifted just by how they were playing.
Yep. Helps when you score 3 straight to end the period. Bunch of penalties here. I'm going to say this: the officiating was not good Saturday night.
All weekend long.
It was awful both ways, so I can live with it if it's awful both ways.
Because they called 10 on us and 9 on them. Yeah.
So relatively even. There were a couple that were questionable. Canisius was diving all night, though. I think that's why C Block loves the diving meets so much. Yeah. So that they see it on the ice, too. Stefano Battini and Brendan Detima, I don't know. Both got kicked out.
Pronunciation guide in front of me.
I don't care.
Datama.
Whatever.
What?
Their names are irrelevant.
Scumbags hitting from behind after the whistle. 5 and 10. See you later. Datama face masking, 5 and 10 game of Scott. I have never seen double fives on the board before. That was a new one.
That was beautiful.
I asked one of my friends the refs, and I asked him, "Have you ever seen 2 5s on separate players for the same team at the same stoppage?" He said he hadn't either.
That was
and that's pretty much where the absolute destruction started to occur.
And then Canisius was done at this point because RIT came out firing in the third period. It helps when you have a almost 3.5 minute 5-on-3.
Yeah.
And I said, this is going to determine how the rest of the game goes.
And
Kobe,
Cody
again,
Liskowski too, for not just for the hat trick, but for the response
was getting
after.
there.
You said he had Dan.
Well, you went to the third. You went to the third period.
I hadn't even talked about Kobe's goal yet.
You went to the third period.
Kobe, with a battle in front, buries it past the sieve of Jacob Barchevsky. Thank you very much. And then, yes, Dan, Cody Liskowski with the hat trick noticed the 26 jersey with all the hats on it.
I was talking about the response that got him 2 minutes for roughing, Nate.
Oh,
yes.
Jesus.
Yes. Yeah, good.
Hey,
good for Cody Liskowski.
Don't speak the Lord's name in
the
vain and
crap
Harper Son, you'll get yelled at.
Oh, no. Anyway.
It's like, I don't care.
Yes. Anyways.
Yeah. And then, so hats went a-flying.
Dan Talbot's Santa hat that he kind of really misses now.
It's... I always find it funny when the visiting team throws hats on the ice.
Oh, yeah.
For a hat trick. And it just feels so good because we just shut them up. And then literally 10 seconds later, Kobe gets another one, which I actually believe was Wilkie, but the video showed Wilkie, but it could have been Kobe. I don't know. Anyway, so 3 goals in that 3-minute span of the power play was massive. I think that really, I mean, that put the game. That really put the game away. I mean, Canisius had a push there for about 5 minutes, but then it was just night. Max Kuznetsov and Randy Hernandez literally just because they were on the ice got goals. I mean, it was what it was. Irrelevant information didn't matter.
Yeah.
Tyler Mahan gets off his skid, gets one. Dimitri gets his first of the season back from the ankle injury. I'm sure that felt good. It was on the empty net right after Carter Wilkie hit the post on an empty net.
Oh, I thought he had it.
And we all thought that was for the hat trick too.
Oh, if that had, I would have I would have thrown my Vegas Knights hat out there. I don't even care. I would have gunned that. 2 in one night, worth it. Losing that thing.
Yeah. And then Simon Isabel gets one for goal number 10 for the Tigers. Second time in program D1 history we've put up 10.
Also the fourth highest scoring game in Atlantic hockey history as well.
And if I did my research looking through NCAA.com last night at about 1:30 in the morning at the request of Dan Talbot, it's the first double-digit game in men's Division I this season.
Nice. Yeah. Love that. Love to see it.
That game, Nate and I both left the arena with splitting headaches and had to get ibuprofen afterwards because we were about to die.
I was dying.
I thought I was gonna throw up. My head hurt so bad it wasn't even funny.
Thank you for not doing that in my car.
No, it was more like in the front row of the Harbor Center.
So let's talk about this a little bit because this was fun. Last year, when we were at Harbor Center and Canisius swept us, Jacob Barchevsky looks over to us, does a little feed me thing, gives a little thing to us after the win on Saturday. So you know when goalies do that, you know that you're in their head.
Yeah,
a lot. Watching him just absolutely lose his mind after giving up 8 goals was very entertaining.
And
He stormed off the ice like a baby.
not
Didn't even fist pump his guy going in, which is scumbag move. Bad teammate. Just he threw a stick, punched the glass, threw a tantrum, and I'm like, good.
so
Good.
here's something I noticed.
That felt great.
Here's something I noticed. I don't know if you caught or not. So we sat there and we saw. Was it Josh Hamilton? Hamilton was his last name. Their backup goalie.
Josh Hawthorne. Not even close.
I had the first two letters.
Yeah,
So
he had the first two letters.
So Josh
He only gave up one goal, made 2 saves because the one was an empty net.
Yeah. Well, it still goes on him, doesn't it?
No. It goes on the empty net because the empty net faced 1 shot and 1 goal.
Never mind.
Played
technically 2
the
shots.
empty net had 52 seconds of ice time. Thank you very much.
All right.
No,
okay,
shots off the post don't count as shots on goal.
Can I also say, what a bonehead move pulling, like, you really think an extra guy is going to help you win? You're down by 5. You're not going to score that many goals in 4 minutes.
At that point, they were down by 4. They were on a power play. I think. I'm pretty sure.
It was a 4-on-4. It was a 5-on-4 at that point.
Oh, yeah. So they pulled him to get to 5-on-4.
Get on a power play. To basically get one. And they backfired horribly. But I will say with Jacob, though, so when Josh Hawthorne starts coming out, Jacob proceeds to just smack his stick into the goalpost. He then skates off, punches the glass by the door, and then instead of going onto the bench, he proceeds to basically go down the tunnel. And from what we saw, it looked like one of the Canisius trainers went down there, got him, and brought him back. Because I
think he was just throwing his stuff, throwing a temper tantrum.
He was pissed.
He was probably coming back.
And
anyway, just needed to get some anger out.
And Nate, for the record, what did I say to you as soon as he was pulled?
What?
I'm going to destroy this man now. And then we started the Jacob's ugly. Jacob can't swim. Somebody wanted to, somebody wanted to do Jacob can't read.
Well, neither can the 3 of us. So
no.
Yeah.
One of the good ones was Jacob's sad. That was hilarious. That was also
what a game.
That's
what a game, man.
Getting a chant, "This is our house" in front of the Canisius fan. Well, the 3 of them were in attendance as they walked out, collecting all of their crap that they tried to dispose of so we wouldn't find it. Like,
it was. What a night, man. What a day.
I feel like, and I was talking, so when we were driving to Buffalo from Erie, I was talking with Nate in the car, and he and I were, I told him, I said, I feel like this home and home series that we have, the 2 that we have against Canisius this year, are going to go similar to how Niagara went last year, where we played them night 1. Veltri was insane. He did play really well. They beat us at home. We then went there, beat them, and then went there again later in the year, beat them again, and then brought them back home and beat them a 3rd time. I really feel like this is how this series is going to go. Like, I think we saw Jacob on past Friday. We saw what he's made of. We got a good look. He beat us. And then we rolled in there on Saturday, unleashed the force of the sun on them, and obliterated them out of their own house. And I have a hunch that when we go back there again, it's going to happen a 2nd time. I really do.
Hope so.
Like, I just see that.
Dang, JJ, fire me up. Jeez.
And I honestly think this team, after, because, like, obviously the weekend, the series before, we had played Princeton. We split with them. You beat them once 4-3. You then get beat the next night 5-0. That sucks. You lose in overtime to Canisius 2-1. I think these guys went into this game. They'd scored too quick, and we were just like, you know what? F this. Done.
They needed to win this game.
I think they got really angry and were like, we are not letting this happen again. We are destroying them. And it just, that second period was insane. Because they were playing aggressive, but
mentally
not
they needed
aggressive.
to win this game.
Yes, that too.
Standings-wise, and in December, early December, there aren't must-win games, like, numbers-wise. Like, you didn't have to win this game. But I think mentally, with a 27-day layoff, and the team that's coming in is currently ranked 6th in the country when they come in.
Yeah.
You needed to win that game the way they did, just for your own mental sake. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
Imagine if that game goes the other way. Now we're going into that Penn State series having lost 3 in a row, and we had to sit on it for 27 days.
Now you get to carry this 27 days.
Now
and
you get to
build hype
carry
off of it.
You get almost 4 weeks of rest. Take your time, enjoy the time with your family.
Mm-hmm.
Get through finals, enjoy the time with your family. Come back rested, recharged, and ready to go because the second half is going to be massive. And we'll get to that in a minute. But
I mean, I legitimately
what a game on Saturday.
I said I wanted to go in there and watch these guys get absolutely pulverized. Like, I wanted us to just obliterate Canisius. I didn't expect us to score 10 goals, but I figured it was gonna. I figured we were gonna crush them. I figured.
And you end the 7-game losing streak against Canisius too.
Thank God.
Yeah.
And the losing streak at Harbor Center.
Can we also say that we also managed
get all of
to
those
recruit,
monkeys off your back?
We also managed to recruit a youth team that was there watching. I think they were from Rochester, but at the same time, they sat relatively near us. And then as we started scoring more, they kind of got closer and started chanting RIT with us. And I'm like, we are converting the children into quarter crew members. This is actually incredible.
Yeah, but they were cheering for Canisius when it was 2-0. So irrelevant.
No, but then they switched sides, which was great. We indoctrinated them in. Which, let's be real, at least it wasn't like last time where the little kids were spitting on us. Let's not forget that one when that happened.
Whatever.
Anyways, we'll be back at that dump in a few months.
Harbor Center's not a dump. Dwyer's a dump.
Dwyer's the dump.
But
We
Harbor
obviously
Center also isn't Canisius's.
That's a good point. They borrow it from the Sabres. We need a name for Harbor Center because we obviously call Dwyer GPC West, or do we just rename them to GPC Outpost West 1 and 2?
How about GPC Canada and GPC West?
The ones that
because
almost
Dwyer's
GPC almost
GPC
Canada.
West and GPC almost Canada.
Well, I guess no. Technically, Harbor Center's literally right across the river from Canada too.
He's got a point.
It's
anyways,
probably equal distance.
We destroyed them. I doubt the C block will come back to Rochester again because they don't want to get clapped again. Because they're going to, unless they do. But whatever.
There.
Let's see how little people they get this time around when nobody shows up. But
what a game!
Fantastic.
What a night! I think. And you know what I hope this does? I hope everybody sees how much fun we had, and then more people go next time because I want to fill that section and then flow into the other one.
Yeah, I want 200.
I want to do that
there.
bad.
We need that badly.
What a game!
Badly.
That one felt good. You could tell that this team had that kind of game in them, and it was coming.
Yeah.
And I think they just built up all the frustration because let's be honest, even in the game they won against Princeton, they didn't play well.
No.
They had played iffy for 3 straight games, didn't get any results that they needed, and then finally it all came out in the third period.
Yep.
Goal.
Let's also say
shout out. Yeah, hang on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Shout out to Canisius. Their SID just decided to leave after the 6th goal. Didn't even.
Hey.
He did not call any of
not
our
what
goals.
happened.
He did not call any of our goals after the 6th one. Nate is right. We had to do the thing ourselves.
No.
Okay.
JJ,
There's another thing.
the
Ryan
stat system
Burgess
broke.
is not the same
Oh, yeah.
as Canisius's SID.
He's also not the SID. So
Anyways.
he wasn't, because my dad went over and asked him, "Hey, what's going on?" He said, "I haven't received any stats since the goal was scored." So
Until they scored.
So
it,
shout out to
stats.
Canisius's stats.
that's a little bit easier when you know the players
Still.
and you can figure it out on your own. But when you don't know the players, it's kind of tough. But we got the box score. I was a little nervous we weren't going to have it for the podcast, and I was going to have to go back and watch it all and figure it out myself. So
Do my job.
yeah.
Yeah, do what Dan Scully does.
What a game, man. We really have to wait 27 days. Well, 26 now, as it is Sunday the 4th. Next game is
Still
December
too long.
30th against the Pennsylvania Nittany Kittens.
Nittany Kittens.
That series has personal
Who have the
implications for me, so
stupidest mascot I've ever seen in my life.
we'll get to them in a few weeks.
Have you seen Stanford's mascot?
Don't you disrespect the Stanford tree ever again, Dan Scully. He is my absolute favorite mascot to play as an NCAA football mascot mashup. Because he has no arms, so the ball just appears out of nowhere, then it gets absorbed into him when you catch it.
If you haven't, go to our Instagram, watch some of the videos that we posted.
All right.
Have you seen Puckman from RPI? That's even worse.
Guys, we're running out of time on this Zoom call. We're gonna have to start another one anyway. But the "This is our house" chant is up there. The response to the C Block video from Friday night is up there. You should go look at it if you haven't seen it.
There's also some pretty epic memes that are coming out soon. They're gonna get released. The one that's on the story that Nate and I saw in the car and literally almost wet our pants laughing at.
I almost crashed.
We did. We literally almost.
We were on 190 in Buffalo. I almost crashed into somebody. Just laughing.
If you didn't see it, it's gonna be up. It's gonna be posted soon.
Great night.
So hard it wasn't even funny.
Great night to be a Tiger fan. We needed it.
Yep.
Well earned break coming up.
Yeah.
So let's pitch it back over to Dan. We'll go look at the scores around the rest of the league, and then we will talk about standings and rankings.
On Thursday, AIC started a home-and-home with Bentley, winning the game they hosted 7-2. They would finish that sweep at Bentley on Friday 5-1. Army shut out Niagara on Friday night in West Point.
In conclusion, Niagara sucks. But
Niagara also doesn't suck, so Omaha sucks, but Omaha also doesn't suck.
All right, Omaha's been pretty good lately. Let's not trash them too hard. They may have had a slow start. They kind of.
Nate, are you okay?
I just watched the goal you sent me on Instagram. I'm sorry.
All right. Anyways, continue, Nick, Dan.
Oh.
We're not going to talk about the game below AIC Bentley on this list.
Nope.
Holy Cross went to Air Force and beat them on Friday. Niagara earned the split with a 4-2 win on Saturday at West Point. Holy Cross finished the sweep of Air Force 2-1 out in Colorado. That's impressive.
Yeah.
I don't know what
as much as Air Force has been down on the year, it's still impressive to go and take 6 points from Air Force.
Oh, we didn't especially do that. At Air Force too.
I don't know what to make of Holy Cross.
They're very inconsistent.
They're good. They have great weekends, and then I don't know what it is. I mean, I know they're a young team, but
they're inconsistent.
They're still not a team I want to see in March. I don't want to play them at all in March.
No, I'm good. Hard pass.
I didn't want to play them in March after we swept them. I was like, that was not an easy sweep.
Oh, it was not.
Can y'all go play Sacred Heart round 1 and knock them out, and then somebody else can knock you out round 2? Have that off weekend in round 2.
The last game on the list for the week is the one we just got finished talking about, where the Tigers put up double digits.
Flex.
On Tuesday, Sacred Heart gets us started with a game against Northeastern in Bridgeport. Thursday, AIC starts a series with Niagara, hosting them at, I don't remember the name of AIC's arena.
Mass Mutual Center.
I thought so. They'll finish that series Friday afternoon at 1:05. Army travels to Mercyhurst Friday night. They'll finish that series Saturday night. Canisius heads to Maine for a non-conference game Saturday afternoon at 2. And that will wrap up the league until Thursday, December 29th.
Fascinating stuff.
We're at the quote-unquote halfway point of the season. It's not really. I'd say that's kind of after, games after you come back and whatever. But
this is kind of more a symbolic halfway point.
Yeah. Atlantic hockey has been very competitive.
It's been weird. Really weird.
the AIC was what, they lost like 5 straight, and now they're back up and they're in third place again. They're tied for second with Sacred Heart. I mean, I don't know, man. It's
there's a couple teams on
very weird.
There's a couple teams. Well, let's go over the standings first, and then we'll talk about kind of our thoughts on some of the teams real quick. I'm assuming Nate has that pulled up, or one of you guys has it. I think Nate does.
The Atlantic Hockey site actually knows how to do standings. The CHA site does.
Good.
So, I mean, I can go through it.
Yeah, go ahead. All you.
And we're gonna go bottom to top because that's way more fun. Bentley is, and now remember, the bottom 2 teams do not make the playoffs.
Yep.
This year, that's new this year. So stay out of the bottom. Bentley at 2-8 in Atlantic Hockey. They have 6 points. They're not having a good year.
No.
Air Force is in 9th at 2-7-1. They also have 10 points. Do not count Air Force out, though. Don't do it. Or they have 7 points. They have 10 games played. Don't count them out. They are a very strong second half team every single year.
Yep.
And they're a young, but they're an experienced team, and they know how to play down the stretch. And that's how they got to the Atlantic Hockey Final last year. Because you got to remember, they went on the road to Army and swept Army in the quarterfinals. So that's not an easy series at all.
Not at all.
And
they
were really young.
not where they're traveling from. I mean, I know they've got to deal with it all year long, but still.
Guy Blessing's a phenomenal goaltender.
Yes,
I don't think their team record reflects his play. I thought, especially in the series against us, he was really good.
Offensively, they've been struggling.
Yeah, so if they figure out how to put the puck in the net, they're going to make a run. And if we can keep them out of the playoffs altogether, mwah, I don't want to play them at all. In 8th place with 11 points, 3-5-2, those schmucks from Canisius. You guys suck. Hope you don't make the playoffs. That's
they
all I
have
to say
one
on
more
them.
point than we scored goals against them on Saturday.
Oof.
Oof.
Sucks to suck, C Block. Not that you care at all, but you don't even know what
now
a
you
point
also
is.
need to remember that all of these teams have games in hand on us too. So not everybody's played the same amount of games. The only team that doesn't have games in hand on us are Sacred Heart, Holy Cross, and AIC. So,
which is good.
But yeah, because they're the couple teams that we're competing with at the top. In 7th is Army, who's starting to come around.
Took them long enough.
They had a slow start. They're 4-4-1. They got 13 points. Brian Riley team, slow start, better finish. I don't think they get into the top portion of the league this year. But they'll be and I want to say this: every team in this league would be a tough out in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't want to play anybody because this league, any team can win on any given night.
Can we just win the title by being first place?
Just do it like European soccer.
Exactly.
Yeah. Win the regular season, you win the league.
Yep.
That'd be nice. In 6th place is Mercyhurst, who has been very up and down. They're 4-2-2 in Atlantic. They're an okay team. I mean, they can put the puck in the net, but I don't think defensively they're that good.
No.
They have only played 8 league games, though, so they can make... They're a sleeper team. Them and Army. If they win those games in hand, they can make big moves in the standings. So
Yeah, they could.
in 5th place, we have Holy Cross, like we said. Don't know what to make of them. They're 4-7-1. They got 15 points. They're sitting in 5th. I don't know. You guys got anything on them?
They're just inconsistent. Like, there's weekends they go out and they play really well, and there's other weekends they go out and they just get crapped on. And I'm like, what is up with this? It's like their on-off switch is getting just flipped on. It's like a little kid playing with the lights. Like, that's pretty much what I can describe them as. That's what a lot of teams this year have been in our conference, is like a little kid playing with the lights. Like, he just keeps turning the lights on and off. One night they're good, the next night they come out and they get destroyed. And I'm like, I don't. A lot of these teams are just weird because of that.
And as well as we were playing to start the season, Holy Cross took us to overtime.
Yeah.
Sure they lost, but still.
It took us to overtime. And so did Canisius. Even though we blew them out.
We
the
don't
next
talk
night.
about that.
In fourth place, that other purple team that we won't mention by name.
Screw those guys.
17 points, 5-4-1. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to admit it. They're good.
No.
Yes.
Until I see it in person, I will not admit they're good.
All right, well, we'll see it in February when we take over their barn.
Half the place
There's
filled
a
with just
significant gap between fourth and third. AIC has turned it around. They've got 23 points. Like I said, they're tied for second. But Sacred Heart somehow has a tiebreaker somewhere.
They also got a game in hand.
And they have a game in hand. So AIC played the most games in the league at 13.
Also,
They're
the most
another
games
one of those-
overall at 19.
AIC's also been kind of weird, too, because let's not forget, they did lose 4 straight conference games. Like, they got swept by us, and then got swept by Canisius the weekend afterwards. So,
another one of those hot and cold teams. I mean, I'm not going to count out an Eric Lang team at all.
even though we hate him.
They're the 3-time champs for a reason. 3-time defending champs for a reason.
Yeah.
They got a good squad that can put the puck in the net. And then Sacred Fart in second, 7-4-1. We swept them.
We swept a lot of teams on this list.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3,
4.
3 teams on the list.
4.
Who's the fourth?
Army, Sacred Heart, AIC, and Holy Cross.
Oh, I forgot Army.
Because it was the first week of the season.
Yeah. Sacred Heart, I mean, I said it, I'll say it again. They're the team to beat in the league, along with us, I think. They can score. They've got the goaltending. They've got the defense. I think they're the team we match up the most even with.
Yep.
Interestingly, AIC has the most goals for in conference.
I was just
though.
looking at that too.
Really? That's
and
interesting.
overall, AIC scored 68 goals overall.
Then again, they have played
But
one
they
more
gave up
conference
50.
game and
Yikes.
Yeah.
So, and then all by their lonesome up at the top.
I see no God up here.
Those
Except for
boys
us.
from Rochester. What a first half, man. 10-2, 12-4 overall, 30 points in the conference, 61 goals. That number is very skewed as of yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh darn, we scored 10 goals. Oh man.
Oh man, I'm so sorry. We made
That
to
wasn't
jack the
fun.
score
Don't
up.
do that again.
Can we,
Who let the lacrosse
Can we do 10
players
goals
on
at
the
home?
ice for the third?
can we also
Can we do
point
10
out?
goals at home, please?
Can
I want
I-
the horn to break.
Can I also point out? How about the bell?
Oh my god, the bell would crack.
Can I also
Liberty
point out?
Bell.
Oh my god! Can I also point out that the Canisius broadcast team's graphics for the scorecard was not equipped to handle double digits, so the 0 and 10 bled into our logo, which was so funny. Oh god!
Yeah. This team is good.
Off to a really good start. I both love
But
and hate.
you know what? It's a cliche. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
I both love and hate how well we're doing right now.
I know. I'm cautiously optimistic. I don't want this to be the peak. This can't be the best this team plays all year. There needs to be another level because come February and March,
You're gonna need it.
and here's my thing. Get through January.
Yeah.
Get through January. You have if you can get through the next 5 weekends of hockey, let me pull it up. I think it's Penn State, Bentley, Mercyhurst, Arizona State, and then Holy Cross. majority of those games are on the road.
Yeah. Just Bentley's at home.
Mercyhurst is at home.
Oh, Mercyhurst, that's right.
So,
well, Bentley and Mercyhurst are both at home.
If you can get through Penn State and Bentley, get through those four, take it a weekend at a time. If you can get one against Penn State, what that's going to do for your confidence is going to skyrocket.
Holy crap.
And it's going to do a lot for the pairwise, too, by the way. Yeah, it's December, Ed. We can bring out the P word.
Because Ed's listening to this.
I hope Ed listens.
He does.
We got to get Ed on here.
Yeah,
we got to get Ed on here big time.
We'll work on it.
We will eventually.
Get back into conference play against Bentley, go on the road, and beat the team in last place. You need to come out of that weekend with 6 points. There's no excuse
You have to
to
sweep
not.
them.
I don't care how well Bentley's playing at the time. They're in last place in the conference at this point. You need to get 6.
Yep.
Come home against Mercyhurst. Win your home games in January. If you win those 2 home games in January, I think you're setting up nicely. If we can get out of January in first place, I think we're in a good spot, because then the last 8 games of the year are all home games.
Yeah.
One's at Harbor Center and 2 are at Dwyer, but they're all home games. Let's be
they're
honest.
All home, they're all home games for us. They're close enough. We'll drive out there.
Yep, the mentality is going to be it's home ice from here on out.
And let's face it, the fact that we destroyed Canisius at home, we're going to probably double our numbers
at Harbor Center.
At Harbor, yeah, that's what I mean. At their home.
At home. At our home.
Well, yeah.
Is this our second or third home? I don't know.
Third. The fact
it's just confusing, is what it is.
We're just too good. The problem is we're just good. So
good team.
I think the fact that we destroyed Canisius on the road, I think we're gonna get double the people we went from this past Saturday to go there again. And everybody saw how much fun, and everybody saw how much fun we had in Dwyer. I think screw Niagara for moving that Friday game to a Thursday. I don't know why they did that, but I also have a feeling that it was because they don't want us showing up there in a massive horde like we did last time. Which Saturday is going to be I don't want to say 300 or 400 people, but I'm confident in assuming that could be a possibility because of how much people just despise them entirely. So I think we're looking really good.
I think we're in a good spot now. I mean, this is where we expected to be this point in the year. I mean, I think we all talked about it or at least Dan wasn't on the season preview, JJ and I did. I mean, I think we're looking at it now. I think an Atlantic Hockey Championship has to be the goal.
Yep.
It's always the goal, but anything short of that at this point is
you have to take it this year.
It's a disappointment, I think. And this group of seniors, I can tell they want it. They want it bad.
Oh, yeah.
Because the upperclassmen have been scoring a lot, and so have the underclassmen.
The underclassmen, I don't... Dare I say the underclassmen have been carrying us a little bit. I think they're so talented, they just lift everybody else up. Honest to God.
And I will say this, Caleb Moritz and Ryan Nicholson getting back in the lineup this week
helped.
I think they missed Caleb Moritz. I love that line of Gonsalves, Moritz, and Mahan.
Oh, yeah. And Evan Miller was back this weekend, too, after being out against Princeton.
The fourth line with Petrucci, Boots, and Miller
was good.
And Isabel
is good.
How they kind of rotated those four. Oh,
Calvin Boots has been really proving himself right now.
They moved him to forward, and it was like time to go.
Yep, and he just went nuts.
I thought he was going to get one Saturday. Really.
He almost did. He came close a couple times. Also,
seems good, guys.
The one thing we didn't talk about, was it Friday or Saturday this happened, where one of those clowns from Canisius got in front of Tommy, and he proceeded to literally shove him over, push him onto the ice, and was like,
"Get
out of my crease."
Games.
No,
I know it happened at home.
It was much more egregious on Saturday when he flat out just shoved him over. Like, he put 2 hands on him and just pushed him to the ground from behind. And the Canisius 3 fans that were there.
Blue paint is the goaltenders.
Huh?
Blue paint is the goaltenders.
Yeah, exactly. Get out of it. But like Sarah wrote, Coach Sarah, at it again. Tommy's protecting his crease. Get him out of there, whatever you have to do. And I'm like, correct. So should we talk about should we talk rankings right now and see how this?
I want to do it a little bit.
It's a little funny.
Northeastern lost to Union on Saturday.
That's pretty big.
Which they're sitting at 18. What did they do Friday? They didn't play Friday, so I mean that's
huge.
That helps us. Who was in 19th? 19th was Michigan Tech. They lost in overtime to Northern Michigan Friday and won on Saturday. So they'll probably stay up.
Who's in 20?
Notre Dame did not play. They were off this weekend. So
I mean, we scored 10.
We were what, 21st? I think. Well, then what did Cornell do? Because Cornell's behind us. Cornell beat Dartmouth 1-0 Saturday. And sorry, I'm going back and forth on what day I do first. I'm flipping on the board here.
You're fine.
They lost to Harvard 2-1 in overtime. So I think you can make an argument, Cornell and us jumping in. I don't think the ranking should be a surprise this time. I think you can make a case. I think if we had swept, I think if we had won Friday, I think you can say, yeah, we're definitely back in.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I don't think it's fair to take Notre Dame out of the ranking because they didn't play. But I mean, they put us in and we technically didn't play, so I guess they can do whatever they want.
I mean, I think the case you have to make is, does Northeastern deserve to get booted because they booted 3 spots because
they lost to Union.
Where's Union?
And their pairwise got tanked.
So maybe they do drop all the way out then.
I could see Northeastern falling out, and considering we were 21st, and I don't think North Dakota really did anything of note either this weekend.
Nodak was like...
They got blown out by St. Cloud on Friday.
Wow.
7-2. And... Come on, computer, scroll faster. They got swept by St. Cloud 7-2 and 6-3, so they're not jumping in.
No.
I think you can make an argument to put us in again this
definitely
weekend.
Could.
I'll understand if they don't, because we did lose on Friday to a team we should have beaten. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But
the fact we came back the next night and just ripped them in half and scored 10,
I think
that
the
kind
10
of
goals
makes up for Friday in my eyes.
And right now we're sitting in 20th in the pairwise. You beat Penn State.
You're shooting way up. And let's not.
You beat ASU. You're shooting way up.
And let's not sugarcoat this. Penn State is ranked 6th for a reason. That's going to be a really hard game.
I've seen that team in person. They're fast. They're physical. They have the goaltending. They're a complete team.
They're terrifying.
And they're a team that's going to compete for not a Big Ten championship. They're going to compete for a national championship this year. I really do think that.
They're really good this year.
They're watching them in person. Like I say this, although any team can win on any given night, Penn State traditionally does struggle against Atlantic hockey teams. And I say this for a reason. The Big Ten is closer to pro hockey in the sense of skill.
Yep.
And speed, but Atlantic hockey is closer in the physicality.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Atlantic hockey is more physical, and I don't think those Big Ten teams are ready for it. If this series was the opening weekend of the season, I think RAT definitely squeaks out a win. The fact that they'll be ready for it and they have time to prepare might be a little different, but
we'll get to that later. So if anything,
fun first half.
If anyone has anything else to add, I can start wrapping it up.
I think we're good.
We're really good, Dan.
We're really good right now.
12-4, man. You see, I knew we were going to be good. I did not see this coming.
No, I didn't either.
It's been fun. A lot of fun.
If you have not already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the like button if you have not. For any video, go back and like all the old ones and this one. Who cares? It's fun.
Quick one thing, random thing, non-conference. LIU just came back from 4-1 down to Brown in the third period to win 5-4 in overtime.
Wow. Good for them.
Okay, then.
Yikes. Yeah. Anyways, continuing with my outro. Hit the bell notifications so that you are notified every time a new video goes live on YouTube. Leave a comment. We do read all of them. We do respond to some of them also, depending on how stupid they are. Kaz.
Aaron.
And Aaron. I love reading Aaron's comments, but some of them are just so stupid it's not even funny. Spotify listeners, if you have not hopped over to YouTube, please do so. YouTube viewers, go to Spotify. We're there also. We are also now on
Apple Podcasts.
I was going to say that, Nathaniel.
It's not my name.
Whatever. Nobody cares. So...
Ouch.
Both...
That hurt.
Anybody coming from either of those, make sure you follow and subscribe to the podcast on both those platforms. You will be notified when new episodes go up there as well. Social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Instagram has been big lately. I think we had, 4 posts today? All of them pretty much memes, because why not?
Yeah.
And we're going to keep that going for the rest of the week because I want to clown Canisius.
So.
Listen, man, if you clown us, we're going to clown you right back times a million. So just don't dish it if you can't take it.
This is what happens when you're not affiliated with the school. You can do this stuff.
Also, I'm going to say right now, I'm putting the over on Canisius is definitely going to block us by the end of the week because they're going to get so tired of getting tagged on all these memes making fun of them. It's not even funny.
Claim victory.
The C block might also. Actually, no, they won't. Or, I don't know, maybe they will.
If they haven't already.
No, they haven't. Because I can still add them in tags for all the drafted memes I have in the Instagram folder. Yes, so make sure you go there.
Folder. Jesus.
I have a lot. I'm just like reloading magazines right now. Discord, that's where we made all the magic happen for Saturday. We're getting people out to both Erie and Buffalo for both of those games. Mobile Corner Crew was popping. Shout out to everybody who showed up to both those games. We love all you guys. You guys are all family. I don't care what anyone says. We are
even those who didn't go, you're all still family.
Yeah, you all are.
Thank you.
Because Dan Scully. Because before I finish wrapping up, somebody randomly asked at one point on Saturday, "Where's Dan Scully?" And when Aaron said he's not coming, there was like a literal weight of just literal depression that just hit everybody in the corner. Because we're all like, "Oh, Dan's not coming. That's sad." We're all really upset that poor Dan Scully couldn't be there. It almost derailed everyone's hype. It was that drastic.
The team took care of that for you, though.
They solved that quite quickly.
The Mercyhurst DJ.
Oh, what a clown.
Oh, jeez.
Idiots.
They played a remix of the Fairly Odd Parents theme song at one point, Dad. It was horrible.
And a bunch of other songs that had a pretty...
They were remixing songs that you don't need to remix. Oh, my God.
They were also adding in lines of dialogue that were very much not appropriate for any venue outside of probably an exotic dancer club. So let's not forget that one. I'm not saying...
Did you guys get Rick rolled at all?
Nope.
Than at
No.
Policini?
They surprisingly did not try and rickroll us.
He actually played
Freebird.
So we were very happy.
Yes, the Discord link is in the Instagram bio. It's in the link tree. It's also in the description of this video. And I think it's also in the description of Spotify.
Everything.
It's in the description of everything, so you can very easily get in there. Join the fun. There's 420 people in there now, which is pretty great. We're at 420. Haha, lol.
Why? I thought you were going to get through it without making the joke.
No, I was going to do it. That being said, have a great night, everybody. We have some fun surprises coming for you in store in the next few weeks. We hope you really guys enjoy that. We're not going to say what they are now because what's the point of a surprise? But you got some nice early Christmas presents coming from us here at the podcast. So we will see everybody in the next few weeks. Have a great night, everybody. Go Tigers.
Niche sucks. Roll Tech.
Good luck on your finals, folks.
R.I.P. R.I.P. R.I.P.